Hey, welcome to our third annual garden walk. We are at the home today of David and Gloria Mills. Mr. Mills can't be with us right now, but their son Alex is here. The Mills garden is located at 6505 North Avenue in Cleveland.
The railroad garden's about 2 or 3 years old. It's a G-scale model. Most of the models I built myself, and some companies build them for us. And the pond has been here 5 or 6 years.
How long have you worked on it?
The track was the hardest part. Took a long time to put that down, like 2 years maybe. And we just added this back section this last year, and the rest of it has been here for 2 or 3 years. The tunnels, we built the waterfall, and then we planned the tunnels out with the trains, and then we put the metal tunnels in, and then built over it with the rocks.
Are you planning any more extensions?
Yeah, every other year we put a little bit more on, and might
build a few more models.
Yeah, put a couple more houses in and build more track onto it.
What kind of resident critters do you have around the train track?
Well, we just saw the snake, and we have some frogs in the pond, and
Koi fish.
yeah, there's fish in the pond, and little rodents running around somewhere.
A lot of black toads, I guess. Also.
Mr. Mills is with us now. He just came back from one of his visits to some nice poor sick animal. Your wife and I were trying to decide what is the name of the big bush in the corner.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. We'll start out.
Didn't have much help.
Yeah, not very much help on that one, but initially what we did, this is our first pond that we put in. We put it back in the early 80s. It's a little different than the ponds that they build today. Like the one over there is a vinyl pond. This is a solid cement pond. It's 8-inch cement, and it's about 4 foot, 5 foot, 4.5 foot deep in the middle, and it's cement. Whereas the ones that we built over there, and a lot of today's ponds are made out of a vinyl kind of a condition. We built this kind of as our formal pond. If you look in the back, you'll see that's King Neptune. He's made out of he's a concrete statue. He weighs about 800-900 pounds, and he makes the garden more formal. And also, if you look over to the left, you'll see there's a gazing globe, but it's kind of a little different than the ones that you buy in the commercial stores. This was made by a lady over at Elkhart Lake. It's a hand-blown gazing globe. Also, this pond has more shade than the other pond. It's more like a shady pond kind of a type of a garden with more shady plants in it. We've got water lilies that are our hardy water lilies that are shade type water lilies versus the sun type water lilies, which we have in the other pond. We have more shade type, like the chestnut, more shade type water plants. If you look around the pond, we do have a few sunny plants in there. We have the daylilies, which seem to grow almost in any kind of conditions in sun or shade. They do a little better in the sun, but they've done pretty well here. They're kind of spent now for the year. We have a large type of hosta over there, which is a shade plant. We have coreopsis, bee balm. We have snow in the mountain kind of a deal, like a that's more of a plant that's invaded the garden. We started out with a little piece of plant, it just kind of took off on us, so maybe next year we're going to have to thin that out a little bit. The coreopsis are the yellow flowers in the back. We have various types of pines, and that's the big tree in the back is kind of started out as a, I can't tell you the name of that, I'm sorry about that. It was started out as one that we dug. We didn't even buy that, we just dug that up as in the backyard and put that in there just to see how it would grow, and it kind of really took off in the shade and the water conditions. The fountain in the front is powered by an electric pump, and it's more of a formal fountain versus the informal type of fountain. Any other questions? Or oh, one other thing, if you just look over there, you'll see that we call that one of our hosta gardens. Is about, I think there's 9 different types of hostas in there, and that's more of a shade type of plant too. So basically that's what we got on this thing.
And you got butterfly house.
Yeah, oh yeah, we got a butterfly house, and if you watch the hostas really attract the hummingbirds. They seem to be gone today, but you'll see hummingbirds go in there and really take the nectar out of there, and we do get butterflies with them too. Basically, this is about probably my favorite garden. I like the formality of it, and I like it's quiet and kind of you can sit on the bench and you're in the shade and you can enjoy yourself listening to the water. And
keep it running during the winter?
Oh yeah, we keep this running all year, 365 days a year. It's for 2 reasons. One, we leave our water lilies in. We don't, and as long as you have some water in it and it doesn't freeze to the bottom, the lilies will survive. Also, there's koi or goldfish in both these ponds, so we keep it running 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, so we run it all the time, correct. And also we can leave our hardy plants out as long as we have some water area open, and even in the real cold weather, as long as the water is running, we do put a little small tank heater in there, but as long as it's circulating, it never freezes to the bottom. So it works out pretty good that way. Okay, this area is kind of our annual flowers are in this area. We have, if you look at this way, there's all different types of annuals. We have 5 or 6 different types of annuals in there. We have our hostas in there again. We have our marigolds. Around the front you'll see the Kochiana's there on the end. There's more around the front. There's zinnias, cosmos, snapdragons, cleomia. They're all around the front. If you go way to the back or go back farther, you'll see there's an old wagon that we picked that up someplace at an auction or something, and that is, we plant that every year. We try to keep it in the red, white, and blue theme. This year we got red geraniums in there. We got blue salvia in there. We got some of those deca spikes in there. And way on the corner you'll see some white zinnias just in there on the side over there if you look closely. You go back, the next step back, right in front of the swings is more of we got both annuals and perennials in there. We got the bee balm, which is one of our favorite flowers. And then we have more coreopsis in the front. There's a begonia planter there with begonias in it. And if you go around, there's an apple tree, and those big white flowers are hydrangeas. We got quite a few hydrangeas back in there. We got some shrub roses back in there and some more hostas. And you come up this way, you'll see the grape arbor. That's we got Concord grapes in there. This year looks pretty good. There's quite a good crop coming on there, so we'll maybe making some jelly out of those probably, hopefully, and they're good eating grapes too. So then if you come up here farther, we have there's mainly daylilies in there with our red gazing globe, but those are daylilies. And in the spring is peonies. The peonies are kind of died out now. They're a spring flower. There's peonies in there in the spring, and then we come in the midsummer with daylilies. And then in real early spring, there's tulips and daffodils in there. This year, around the wagon wheels, we tried some morning glories. We got them in kind of late because of the weather, and they're just starting to come. But on each one of those wagon wheels, there's morning glories. Directly behind me is what we call our flagpole garden. We have try to keep the red, white, and blue theme in here too. We have really red, white, and blue salvia in this area. So this is what our flagpole garden is, kind of what we call it. My wife has planted a old-fashioned baby carriage to the right of me over here. That's kind of a baby carriage that was in our family for quite a few years, and her grandpa gave it to her, and we've kind of refurnished it and planted it there. This we kind of call our spa garden, I guess. If you look over towards the house, you'll see there's about 4 or 5 different types of begonias in there. There's some annual begonias, and there's some begonia bulbs. The bigger headed flowers are begonia bulbs that we start in early spring. The other ones are annuals. There's a fuchsia plant hanging up, New Guinea impatient. Around the spa we have various types of annuals. There's red geraniums, obviously, and different types of annuals, and daisies and zinnias in the pot that you see. If you look back next to the house, there's more hostas. As you can see, we're into hostas quite often. There's hostas there, and there's hostas over here by the house, so we enjoy hosta plants. They're a good shade plant. They do well in the soil, sandy soil that we have around here, and they're relatively maintenance-free. This is our breeding pair of peacocks, the ones we use for breeding, collect the eggs and put them in the incubator. This time of year, after they're done breeding, the breeding season or the egg season is from around the 1st of May through, well, around the middle of July. And when they get done breeding, what they do is the male peacock sheds all his big feathers, his big tail feathers. And this one's just about done shedding. We pick the feathers up almost every day because we enjoy having him in the house. If you look at the back of his tail, you'll see he's starting to grow a new tail for next year. But the big tail that he had is all shedded out, or 90% of it shedded out. They call him a red lord, green Amazon. Red lord is because he's got that red stripe on his bill there. He's a pretty talkative parrot, but when people are around, strangers, he doesn't seem to say too much. Hello, crickets. Hello. Hello. Yeah, he can wolf whistle. Hello. Merry Christmas. Come on, Merry Christmas. Hello. That's one of our dogs. His name is Blackie. He's been around about 13 years old. We have 3 dogs on the premises, but this is kind of the yard dog. He's an older dog and German Shepherd, Golden Lab cross. So he's been around quite a while. Hopefully he'll be around a little longer, but he's about 13 years old. So he's kind of hot today. The humidity's starting to... He's got a lot of hair on him. We brush him out, but it seems to...